Ew. I think we need to clean this up. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Clint, and as you can see, Napalm's engine compartment is pretty dadgum dirty. For the most part, I'm pretty consistent about keeping her clean. After we go wheeling, it's usually not a day or two, and I'm getting in there and getting things cleaned up. But one thing I am guilty of is just totally ignoring the engine compartment. As it happens, the folks at Super Clean reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in doing a review of their products. I said sure. So they sent me out a box with a couple of different items they have. This right here is the Speedy Dry. If you guys watched my RCV axle install video, yeah, I used that. Works pretty good. This right here is a foaming degreaser. This right here is just a spray bottle of their regular degreaser. And this is their wheel cleaner and an aerosol can of their degreaser. The cool thing about their degreaser is it's supposed to be biodegradable, non-toxic, so it's going to be good for the environment. They also sent along a dilution chart. You're not going to be able to see it real well, but you can go on their website and you can look at this chart and it'll kind of give you an example or what type of items that you would use their product on full strength and the other type of items that you would dilute and to what strength. With all that being said, I'm not going to waste any more time talking about the product. Let's put it to use and see how it works out. I'm going to do the engine compartment napalm first. Okay guys, first thing, you don't ever want to spray water on a hot engine. Alright, make sure your engine is cool. Maybe do this first thing in the morning before you crank up and get your day started, but don't ever spray water on a hot engine. So what I've done here is I took one of their bottles and I have diluted their degreaser to a 3-to-1 mixture because I really don't have any grease, any oil leaks. Napalm's still new enough that she hasn't developed those yet, but as you can see, there's a lot of dirt and grime under here. So I diluted to 3-to-1. And we're going to spray this down, let it sit for a little bit, and then just spray it off. Now, after you let it sit for a little bit, but not long enough to dry, go ahead and spray it off. As we're waiting for this to dry, let's do some wheels. So we're going to do this wheel right here. It's pretty dirty, as you can see. I pretty much just sprayed it down from the last wheeling trip. So let's use their wheel cleaner and see what it'll do without actually getting in there and scrubbing on it. First thing you want to do is spray the wheel down. Then spray the wheel down with their wheel cleaner. Let that sit for 30 seconds and we'll spray it off. I don't know how well you guys can see back in here, but there was some caked on mud back there, and it got it out just by letting it sit. That's pretty impressive. Right here is a spill on my driveway and one right there. I'm just going to do a little test here, and I'm going to spray this one with the foaming degreaser and let it set for a little bit, spray it off and see what it does with no scrubbing or anything. engine compartment isn't completely dry yet, but I think it's dry enough to make a legitimate comparison of before and after. I feel like if I would have sprayed this down to start with and gotten the loose stuff right off the top, it would have done a lot better, but just the way it looks right now, I'm real pleased with it. It did a whole lot better than I expected it to do. Well, coming back and looking at the wheels, it's pretty decent. About the same as any other wheel cleaner I've used. The kind of stuff that we're doing with our Jeeps and the off-roading and the mud, and you know, we're getting a little bit more than just road grime and brake dust on them. Alright, I had to speed this process up a little bit. Like I said, the temperature's dropping now. I think it's in the 40s now, but I used a heat gun to help try to dry this off. And I just used a foaming degreaser, sprayed it on there, let it set for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes and sprayed it off. I think if I'd have gotten a brush or something and really scrubbed on it, that would come up a whole lot more than it did. But just for doing nothing, just letting it sit there, I'm pretty impressed with it. Overall, I think the wheel cleaner is probably about like any of the other wheel cleaners on the market. What we're doing with our Jeeps, it's a little bit more intense than regular road grime or brake dust that your average person will encounter. The Speedy Dry, though I did not demonstrate because I wasn't going to pour any more oil on my driveway. Mama's mad enough at me as it is. I have used it, and the one big difference with the Super Clean Speedy Dry versus kitty litter or any of the absorbents like that, when you pour it on it, it doesn't necessarily stop the flow immediately. It takes a little bit because it's basically clay, hardened clay, and it takes a little bit for it to soak in. This Super Clean Speedy Dry, as soon as I poured it on it, it stopped flowing immediately. And nothing's going to draw oil or whatever it is that you've spilt out of another surface. It's just, I mean, I'm not an engineer, but it's not going to happen. Once it's there, it's there. You can stop it from spreading and try to soak it up so it doesn't get in as deep. But the Speedy Dry, I'm a big fan. The degreaser, also a very big fan. It comes in a lot of different ways you can use it. You've got the foam, you've got the aerosol can, you've got the straight concentrate that you can dilute to your liking. On that dilution chart I was showing you, it has, you can use this stuff on anything. It just doesn't have to be automotive and oil spills. You can use it on your grill, on your plastic furniture. And one thing I noticed with this driveway, you could probably put it in a pressure washer and dilute it, you know, in your pressure washer mixture, and clean your driveway with it too. And like I said, it's supposed to be biodegradable and non-toxic, better for the environment. Win-win all the way around. Guys, I hope you like this video. Till the next time, keep the shiny side up. Jeep on.